Definition of customary law. Customary law is which is the behavior of a person that is continuously carried out in a certain way and followed by outside parties over a long period of time. Conceptually, customary law is collection of social norms, rules, and practices, both written and unwritten, that originate from the custom of a community and are passed down from generation to generation. Although not formally codified like positive law, customary law still has binding force because it reflects the cultural values, morals, and social structure that indigenous communities that practice. In Indonesia, customary law is recognized by the state as a legitimation legal system, ensuring its legitimation and relevant in modern social and legal development. Legal basic of customary law in Indonesia. Several legal basics underpin the existence of customary law as follows. Number 1, Constitutional Basic, Article 18B, Paragraph 2, 1945, Constitutional of Republic Indonesia. The state recognizes and respects customary law, communities, and their traditional right. As a law, they continue to exist and are in accordance with the development of society and the principle of the unitary state of the Republic Indonesia. Number 2, legal basic in regulation. Point A, law number 5 of 1960, countering basic agrarian regulation UUPA. Article 3. Point B, law number 6 of 2014, concerning village. Article 96. And point C, law number 48 of 2009, concerning judicial. For Article 5, Paragraph 1, state that judges are obligated to explore, follow, and understand the legal value that exists within society or law. Point 3, jurisprudence. Example, Constitutional Court Decision number 35 PUUX 2012 affirms the customary forests are no longer state forests but belong to customary law communities. Point 4, principle of recognition based on the provisions recognition of customary law is subject to the following condition. Point A, it must still exist within the community. Point B, it must be in keeping with current development. Point C, it must not conflict with the Pancasila, the 1945 Constitution of the Republic Indonesia, or law and regulation. Supporting data. Number 1, Yuli Handayati by title The Concept and Implementation of Customary Law in Indonesian Society. Explain the customary law is living law recognized in the Indonesian national legal system and continue to be as underwritten source of law in jurisdiction practice. Number 2, Robi Nur Tresna et al. By title The Application and Relevance of Customary Law in Modern Context demonstrates that customary law remains active in resolving local disputes such as those over customary land and social conflict because it reflects the community value of the justice.
So now we're talking about the customary sanctions for violations of environmental norms in the Baduy community. The Baduy people residing in the remote area of Lebak, Banten adhere to a strict system of customary law, particularly concerning environmental preservation. Nature is considered sacred and an integral part of their life, governed by the principle lojor temenang dipotong, pendek temenang disambung. Long must not be cut, short must not be extended, meaning the natural balance must be maintained without alteration. Crucial environmental norms include the prohibition against cutting trees in forbidden forests, or lowong titipan, the ban of using chemical substance, and the prohibition of slash and burn farming. Violations of these norms are called malang, which are not only considered a breach of the rules, but also a threat to the spiritual and physical harmony of the community. The customary sanctions are varied but firm and hierarchical. The first one is verbal warning, issued by the traditional heid or pu'un, or local leader or jaro. The second one is customary fine often in the form of agricultural produce or livestock for cleansing rituals. The third one is temporary ostracism. The offender may be separated from communal activities. The fourth one is the severest punishment or banishment in the violation is fatal and repeated, e.g., destroying the lawang titipan. The perpetrator can be expelled from the Baduy village. The essence of these sanctions is to restore the natural balance that has been damaged and to provide deterrent, ensuring environmental sustainability for the continuous survival of the community across generations. So now we talk about the Madurese Carok. Carok is a traditional Madurese practice involving a duel to the death or severe injury using sharp weapons, typically the celurit, as a last resort to restore honor or harga diri that has been tarnished. The main triggers are often adultery, proven insult, or land disputes. The customary law perspective, Carok is often seen as a legitimate conflict resolution mechanism to restore the social status or honor of the injured individual or family. In traditional society, failing to perform Carok when one's honor is severely damaged can lead to social ostracism or matea bakal, dying without dignity. Madurese customs view this as justified retaliation or jungle law when peaceful negotiation has failed. The next we talk about state law perspective. Under Indonesian state law or criminal code KUHP, Carok is a pure criminal act. It falls under the category of severe assault, attempted murder, or murder. The perpetrator of Carok, regardless of the customary motive, will be prosecuted and sentenced to imprisonment. State law prioritizes human rights and strictly prohibits taking another person's life. The next is relevance in the modern world. In the modern world, the practice of Carok is strictly prohibited and increasingly abandoned, although the values of honor remain paramount in Madura. Robust law enforcement and education have encouraged conflict resolution to shift towards formal legal channels or mediation facilitated by religious figure or kiai and community leader. Now, Carok is regarded as a severe human rights violation and reflects to the failure to integrate customary values with the modern legal system.
The Baduy customary law embodies a strong environmental philosophy that views our nature as sacred and must remain unchanged. As reflected in the principle Boyor temenang dipotong, pondok temenang disambung. Environmental violation, they said Malang, are seen not only as legal offenses, but as the disruption is to spiritual, social, and ecological harmony. Strict prohibition, such as banning tree cutting in the lawang titipan, and the use of chemicals aimed to preserve natural balance, customary sanctions are applied hierarchically from warnings and ritual fine to ostracism and banishment. Overall, this system emphasizes restoration, deterrence, and long-term environmental sustainability.
Case analysis of Carok Madura is often described as a traditional practice of violence during to defend honor, especially related to family dignity and marital loyalty. This framing, however, rests on the assumption that violence is a culturally legitimate or inevitable response to humiliation. That assumption deserves scrutiny. While Carok is rooted in a historical social structure marked by weak formal law enforcement and strong patriarchal values, it does not that the practice is an authentic or immutable expression of Maduranese culture. A skeptical view would argue that Carok reflects a failure of social and legal institutions rather than cultural ideal. The elevation of honor above human life suggests a moral hierarchy that conflicts with contemporary legal principle, particularly the rules of law and the protection of life. Moreover, the narrative that Carok prefers social order is questionable. Empirically, it often escalates conflict, perpetuates cycles of revenge, and leave long-term trauma within communities. An alternative perspective is to see a Carok as a social symptom rather than a cultural essence. Economy marginalization, limit access to justice, and rigid gender norms intensify the appeal of personal violence as dispute resolution. From this angle, cultural explanation risks becoming excuses that obscure cultural problems. A more accurate analysis recognizes cultural contents while rejecting cultural determinism, emphasizing that traditions are dynamic and can be transformed without erasing communal identity.